When we talk about domestic, regional, and international justice system,
Yes.
what kind of relationship do you envisage, especially to tackle, the difficult crimes of transnational and international crimes?
Yes. I envisage two types of relationships. One is a legal relationship, which is obviously spelled out in treaties establishing regional and international courts. An example is where there is a provision for the principle of complementarity as it is in the ICC, where an international court such as the ICC can only intervene where domestic courts cannot handle these cases, either due to questions of capacity or due to the fact that they want to shield certain peoples from the jurisdiction of domestic courts. So I think that's the first relationship that I envisage. But over and above, a forum such as we've had today gives room for judges, or an opportunity for judges to network. And you never know, in future, you might have a question or two about what you're doing in your domestic setting. And due to the networking that you've had, you can easily consult some of your colleagues who you've already met in a forum such as this. Yeah.
Another issue, of course, I've realized is that for us to have effective justice delivery, the investigation, the prosecution, and the judiciary somehow have to work together.
Yes.
And of course, I've realized that we are having separate forums, for example, for investigators and prosecutors, separate from the judiciary. And always, every time you listen, there's always a complaint about the disconnect between the judiciary, the prosecution, and the investigators. I mean, what would really be your view?
I think all these entities which are there in order to ensure that there is delivery of justice should have an opportunity to sit together and iron out the problems or challenges that they face, because delivery of justice is not only at the time when the case is in the court, but it starts from the time when the investigation takes place. It starts at the time when the prosecution takes over and they bring a case in the court. So it will be very important to bring together all these stakeholders in order for them to understand the minds of each other. There's a way the judges think, or a way they determine cases, given the laws establishing the courts. But the policemen who deal with investigations might not understand this, and this would hamper delivery of justice. Obviously, this interaction should be there in as far as discussing how to iron out the challenges. But we should also understand that the courts and these other entities should stay at arm's length in certain matters, so as not to be viewed or to be perceived to lack independence because you are very cozy with these other entities of or in the justice sector.
Again, when we look at international and transnational crimes, specifically the transnational crimes, we've seen the sophistication, of the perpetrators and, the kind of technology that they use to commit these crimes. So what do you see as a solution to addressing this kind of sophistication to match, the initiatives that are taken to deal with them?
Yes. I think, as it was rightly pointed out in the conference today, there's probably need for more training for judges, prosecutors, the policemen who deal with these sophisticated areas. But obviously there's no one-size-fits-all. I could only offer broad recommendations. And the first recommendation is to, depending on what transboundary crime is prevalent in a given country, it will be advisable to have a specialized court with specialized judges who understand these sophisticated areas, like financial crimes, which are extremely sophisticated. That's number one. Number two, another solution will be, the second solution would definitely be that when judges are handling these matters, they should be open to the idea of inviting experts in this domain in order to educate them more about the sophistication of the cases before them. And this will go a long way in helping the judges to come up with with a very good judgment. I think the third proposal which I could make is we also need the civil society in our region to be a bit active. The specialized civil society, and they could come in form of the friends of the court or amicus curiae, and this would help as well. So we look forward to the civil societies being more engaged in the processes of the court in order to help the courts in these sophisticated areas.